Hi guys, and welcome to Music Hills. I hope you're all good. It's so great to be back. It's like I've been away forever, but I hope you guys are doing well and you hope you had a great Easter. I'm just going to wait for a few people to join. As you know, it just takes 1 or 2 to 5 minutes for them to join. So we'll get cracking very soon. Today I have with me Roots and Rhymes in the house, and I can't wait to speak to the both of them. Nepic, logic, and so much wisdom between the both of them, and both Tunes and Mac, and I can't wait to talk what music means to them. I'd like to welcome everybody that's come here for the first time. My name is Rita Mara, and I am a music fusion artist. Let's see who's joined. Hi, Kicks, thank you for joining. And Kuli, hi. I hope you've had a nice break too. I had a great break. So in the time that I've been away, I've been able to cut my hair myself the first time, as you all do in lockdown. I don't think I'll ever do it again because it totally stressed me out. So I'm really looking forward to getting back to seeing my hairdresser who does a better job than me. And as you know that, like the rules are changing slowly and the freedom is coming slowly, but we still got to be so careful with everything that's going on with the pandemic, and just be vigilant and take care of each other and keep wearing those masks. So what is Music Hills? You're probably wondering. Music Hills is a non-scripted conversation between myself and creative individuals, and today obviously we've got Roots and Rhymes, Tunes and Mac, and I'm going to be discussing with them what music means to them, how it's their great energy, what inspired them at a very early age through to their inspirations. So if you guys have got any questions for them, please feel free to put them in the comments and I will try and keep up with that. Also, you guys know that I have now a dedicated music website for Music Hills, and it's just been getting so much love, musichills.info, where you can get all the information about what Music Hills is, and also any past episodes that have started for this season, from season 2. And also, as you know, that this is a independent run live. I do it out of my own pocket. I do this independently, and if you love it, please do support it by buying me a coffee, and it will just keep Music Hills alive and it'll keep growing it, and I will really appreciate that. But if you can't, not to worry, because all your likes and all your support for the videos that are shown here on Facebook and YouTube will mean so much to me. So if you could please share, if you could please like and get the word out for Music Hills. Let's see who else has joined. Hey Deepak, thank you for joining. It's so good to see the gang here. Kuli, you're saying that you've got your hairdresser's appointment next week. I think I've got mine in 2 weeks' time, so I can't wait as well. So as you know, I'll start off with a song first, and then we'll get Tunes and Mac on to speak to them. Thank you, Sai. Thank you for joining. Sai was also on Music Hills a couple of, I think about 3-4 weeks ago. So make sure you tune into Sai's Music Hills too. Thank you for joining me, lovely. Okay, let's get cracking with my Rita's rendition. You guys still want to hear me sing, and it means so much to me. So I'm going to give you a little bit of background why I'm singing this today and why it means so much to me. So if you follow me on Instagram and Facebook, you would have probably seen that today marks an anniversary for me. 11 years, would you believe it, as a solo independent artist. I have been in the music industry for longer than that. I started, as you know, when I was only 16, and I'm only 10. Oh, no, I'm joking. 16, and as you know, I was on the Asian Live circuit, and then I came out, and then I came back. My big break was 11 years ago, when I was given the opportunity for one of my tracks to be shared onto BBC Asian Network, and it was remixed by the amazing Sound Aftar, and alongside Fingers, who helped me produce it. And it was actually actually aired on BBC Asian Network, and I was supported by Bobby Friction, so I'll never forget that moment. And I've also got to give a big shout out to Donnie Brasco as well, who also supported me in the very early stages of my career as well. So these guys made it happen for me, and ever since then I have been growing as a fusion artist, independent, trying to make my way out there. It's taking its time, but I am loving the journey. It has its high and lows, but what journey doesn't have its high and lows, right? You get your blessings and you get your lessons at the same time. So I'm very fortunate in what I'm doing with music. Thank you so much, Steve, for joining me today. So I'm going to be singing for you Rain. So the guys that have been with me from the very beginning know what Rain means to me. And this isn't the dubstep version, but it's just the acoustic version that has featured Mal Darwin on the guitar, and it's also been co-produced by Hino Patani. So I hope you guys enjoy, and then we'll get Roots and Rhymes on after my song. So let's get this sorted. I hope the levels are good. Do let me know. It's raining out there. Well, not at the moment, but you know what I mean. Can you feel the rain? Can you feel the sun? Can you feel the moment of the pain that's going on? Can you hear me laugh? Can you hear me cry? Can you feel my pain when you left and you said goodbye? Can you feel the rain? Can you feel the sun? Can you feel the rhythm of the beat you're playing on? Can you hear me laugh? My heart is open wide. Have you felt the feeling when there's nothing left inside? Ooh, can you read my heart? Can you read my mind? Can you stop and recognize the love you never tried? I wonder where you are. Do you wonder why? Everything I have for you has left me with no pride. Oh, can you feel it? Can you see it in the night? Can you feel it? किसी में बता तुमको मेरा हाल If this is love, why don't you feel it? If this was love, why didn't you need it? If this was love, why don't you see it? Why don't you need it? Why don't you feel it? Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. This is my rain. This is my rain. This is my rain. This is my rain. And breathe. It's a very emotional track, Rain. And thank you guys for your love out there. Oh, Pri, thank you for joining. My fave too. So it was a song that launched me as a solo artist, and the metaphor in that was like, can you not feel anything? I guess they can't. Oh, well, one day they will. Okay, so let's get the echo off, because I don't want to be speaking to the guys with echo on. And remember, if you guys have got any questions for Roots and Rhymes, please do put them in the comments. We're going to get them on now. So I'm really looking forward to this. So guys, I hope you're ready for me. Okay, let's get tunes in first, and let's get mucking. Hey guys.
Hey Rita.
How are you doing?
Feel like I need to give you a standing ovation right now.
Absolutely. I was getting lost in that a little bit. I was closing my eyes.
Do you know, when I close my eyes, I sometimes forget my lyrics, and I'm like, oh shit, where am I? You know, it's crazy. Guys, Roots and Rhymes, thank you and welcome to Music Hills. How are you both feeling?
Feeling great.
Absolutely great after that song.
I think it's all the ad libs and the high notes and everything, isn't it?
Yeah.
Guys, we've got Roots and Rhymes in the house. If you guys don't know about them, you're gonna get to know them. We've got my man Tunes, and we've got Mac as well. If you guys have any questions for Roots and Rhymes, please do drop it in the comments. Anything that you'd like to know about music from all of us, as you know that I'm an artist too, and we're going to get some banter going. So I'll hand it over to you. Who are Roots and Rhymes, and what do you guys do? Let's give an introduction. I'll give it to you.
So Roots and Rhymes are effectively two guys, myself and Mac, and we just love representing British Asian music. So myself, I've been a DJ for around 15 years, and Mac has been a rapper MC on the circuit for, if not more than 15 years. We've been friends since we were extremely young,
Wow.
School days really, and we kind of shared this passion for music, and we've gone through the circuit, DJing, MCing, rapping, etc. And we decided to create Roots and Rhymes last year. So before it was just Tons of Mac. But Roots and Rhymes, in essence, yeah. So Roots and Rhymes is basically this brand that we created. And it was a product of lockdown, really, that we wanted to really show off the real talent that's emerged over the last 20 years in the British Asian music circuit, and what has influenced it. Because we love talking about music, we love understanding our culture, and when we say our culture, not just our roots, but the rhymes as well, the urban side of the culture. What kind of hip hop, R&B music were you listening to? How did that inspire your music going through? And we basically just got a lot of people that we knew, told them to come on the podcast, and then it just blew up really, and it's been great. And I think the best thing about it has been that myself and Mac, we represent different sides to it, don't we, Mac? I'm kind of like the roots, and Max is more like the rhymes, and it kind of gives it that really, really positive and good balance.
Yeah, we've got such a diverse we've got a diverse approach to music. I like things that Chun doesn't like, he likes things that I don't like, and Chun is definitely more of the roots side of things. I've grown up in a very hip-hop orientated way, which blends nicely with what we're trying to represent, because Chunz is also into hip hop, but brings a lot more of the Asian side to things, which is not really my strong suit. But it's just a real collaborative passion that we have that we've been able to explore.
It's amazing that you guys have just been there for a year as well. I thought you were for a long time, you know, and obviously because of the expertise that you've had, you know, like with being in the music industry, you've been able to apply that into Roots and Rhymes. I've got to say that hands down, it's one of my favorite titles for a podcast. You know, it literally draws me in as a artist, you know, like, I mean, a lot of people connect with Music Heals, obviously, because it's Music Heals, right? Because they're more intrigued. But for me as an artist, when I heard about Roots and Rhymes, I was like, oh, I'd like to know what this is about, because like what you were saying to me about you both yourselves having like different likes of what you like in music. That's like the contrast I have between me and my hubby. He loves all the traditional stuff, like the Punjabi stuff, even though he's Gujarati, but he's really drawn into that culture root, whereas I'm more hip hop and I'm more
Gangster.
R&B gangster. Yeah, you could say gangster, spiritual gangster in such a way, you know, which is kind of weird, but it works. But you know, it's really great. So if you guys have got any questions out there for Tunes and Mac, please do put them in the comments. I'd love to hear from you. And we've got Kali. Roots and Rhymes, where are you based? I guess that's what she means.
So we are loud and proud that we are from Yorkshire. So
Yorkshire,
from the north. Yeah, we grew up in Bradford, the both of us, and we've kind of in our later age moved to the outskirts, but we're loud and proud about the fact that we're from Yorkshire, and we love to represent the north and fly the flag as much as possible.
Hey, I think you're my first northern guest, so big up to that for sure. Representing Marathi boys.
God's own county.
Indeed. Okay, so let's get into Music Heals, guys. I'm going to kick off with what does music means to you. So if you guys want to just answer individually or, you know, collectively, it's all good. So what does music mean to Roots and Rhymes?
I think, you know, it's a great question, because and I can only answer from an individual perspective, but what music means to me is it's you know, and I'm sure it's the same for most people, it's far beyond an auditory experience. It's not about listening to something that sounds good. It's about feeling, it's about healing, it's about changing mood, it's about connection. Music is one of those rare, beautiful things that even, you know, you could sing in any language, but if you feel the music, you feel the music. So it's one of those great connectors. Absolutely. And, you know, it doesn't matter what you might be feeling, it doesn't matter what you're going through, there is a piece of music that will understand you and empathize. And I think that is one of the most amazing qualities that music has, that it will be there to support you, and it will be there to motivate you, it'll be there to sympathize. And so for me, music is part of the fabric of my being, because it's not just about listening to a song or an artist that I like. It's about an expression of creativity and a real chance for almost like your soul to be heard on a visceral level.
So true, Mac. You know,
what you said there about your soul being heard, I think people, I don't think you can explain the connection that people have with music. It is almost like that on a spiritual level, or it's euphoric in some sense. It's something you can't explain. But the best thing about music, it can come in any form, and not just in different languages and stuff. You don't even have to have lyrics in music in order to connect with it. It's just sonic sounds which touch you in such a way that they pull on certain emotions or heartstrings, or bring you to a completely different space. You can also feel like you can listen to a piece of music and feel like high on that music. You can actually feel like you're on a different level completely, because it's taking you to a place, and that's the beauty of it, really. And there's only a handful of things in the world that you can experience in that with so naturally as well. And I think digging deeper into that, you can you also have different experiences with music as a performer. You'll know, Rita, that the way that you feel about music when you're on stage is possibly different to the way you feel about music when you're a listener, and you're actually just absorbing it. It's two completely different experiences, and for this one single entity to be able to do that to you and pull you in different directions is just so special.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've
You know
got
what
it.
I love as well, Rita, is like the title Music Heals, because we're talking about like whatever mood that you're in, you can listen to a piece of music, and like what Chun's is saying is bang on. It's one of those things that can pull you in different, depending if you're a performer or a listener.
Yeah.
But it also, like, I love Music Heals, the word, because music is therapeutic in its own right.
Yeah.
Like, you know, it can really, you listen to a good piece of music, it could change your entire day. You know, if you're just feeling a bit down and you listen to something uplifting, it could change your entire perspective on that day. And there's very few things that I can think of that have that power and that potential to really make a difference just by embracing what you're hearing.
Yeah. And it takes a moment of that moment as well. You know, it makes that moment so precious, whether you're feeling lost or you're feeling high, you know, you'll remember that moment. I remember certain things. So the reason why I called it Music Heals, guys, thank you so much, Mac, for that, and Tunes. Music, I didn't even think twice when I thought of putting this together, you know, like when like just like you guys, I started Music Heals in lockdown. And this was like a rejected project that was actually supposed to go on radio, and it got rejected. And then I didn't know which way to move forward with it. And that was a year before. But however, before that, in 2018, I was actually thinking about putting a WordPress together. And I did actually put a WordPress together because I've always pondered what music means to other people, because I know that it's healed me in my life, in my journey, whether I had music as an artist or as a listener. I know that there's been certain times in my life that I haven't been able to listen to. For example, when I had certain trauma in my life, I couldn't connect with any spiritual songs because I was just so angry with God and angry with life or what have you. But then slowly it came back into my life, crept back in, because the more I listened, the more I felt, okay, I can release it. I can listen to this. I can, there's a higher energy in music, and however you feel, whether it's good or bad. And that's why I thought, okay, this is healing me, in an ironic way. How is it going to heal other people? And I know it's such a strong statement to make, but I mean, music heals can be either spiritually or energetically, or, for your health. It can be like interpreted in so many ways. So I'm really happy that you like that too. And it means a lot coming from you guys as well, Yeah.
It is. Music is therapy, man. Like in completely different ways. Like you could be listening in your car on the way back home from work, and it's allowing you to distress and decompress before you go back to your home life. Or you're going through a breakup and there's a certain song that connects with you. It allows you to go through that roller coaster of emotions with it. We also have music at weddings to represent joy and first dances and love, and we also have weddings at funerals so we remember, and we can hear, or we can see that person through that piece of music. So it's amazing. And I think, like Max says, Music Heals is such an apt title, because it does heal in so many ways. I think that's a credit to what you're doing as well here.
Thank you.
Rita, it's brilliant. It's a great concept.
Definitely echo that one. I love what you're doing.
Shame on the people that rejected it for radio.
I know. It's amazing. It's just amazing. It's a trick, isn't it? But then you know what it is as well, guys. Again, music, as we're talking about how great the energy is. I was actually going to step away from it, but because we came down in lockdown, and then it affected me as an artist and our industry, which we are going to obviously talk about. I didn't know how to project my voice out there. And I've always been the one to just stay out of the circle or not put myself forward. So it was like now make or break for me,
Which is a really brave decision to make. And I'm glad you made it, because you will heal a lot of people through this conversation.
Oh, bless. Thank you so much. So I can see there's a few people. Hi, Marla. Thank you for joining. I've got a frog in my throat, so excuse me. So let's start off, how did you guys, you've had music a lot in your life for a long time, Can you remember the first earliest memory that you have of music and how it made you feel and why you wanted to go down certain particular routes? Let's start with you, Tunes. What is the most memorable time of your childhood that you when you fell in love with your music? Can you remember? Not
There's
saying
a
you're
few,
old,
really.
but you know. I'm old, but you know, that's another conversation. But you know,
So
Your
there's been a few
experience.
instances that music's been it. I think journey is the right way of putting it. There wasn't.
yes,
I couldn't ever put down to one specific time
yeah,
that
yeah, sure,
kind of opened my ears
yeah,
up to music or anything like that.
yeah,
But I did
totally,
come from an environment at home. It was quite a religious environment, so we were always around, whether it was spiritual music or. But my parents did listen to music, and you go to weddings and parties and that kind of thing. You're always
yeah, yeah.
exposed to it. But my very earliest memories, there's two or three really. First one, Michael Jackson was always being played,
Oh,
right? So whether it
yeah,
was in my own house, whether
yeah,
it was my uncles, aunties, and that kind of thing. So I really had the inspiration for Michael Jackson classic R&B, soul, pop music through that. My dad used to love the Bee Gees, so that was a big inspiration for me as well. Loved that, but then also at the same time, we used to have like old Bollywood videos, like the best of Madhuri Dixit and
yeah.
Divya Bharti and all that kind of stuff. So
Yes, yes.
that pulled me towards that, and then
Mm-hmm.
like I said with the Punjabi music and stuff, you pick that up just from being around weddings and parties. But I always thought to myself that I was musically minded. I always
Okay, yeah,
I was always doing things to a rhythm or something like
yeah.
that. So it
Oh,
was
okay.
always that kind of thing that
Did you
it
play an
drew me in,
instrument?
and I did. I played percussion when I was younger, so I
You
played
tell me
tabla.
now, and I've got like a keyboard here. We could have like jammed. No, I'm only joking.
I wish I could still play. Um, so I started off playing tabla,
Yeah,
and then when I went to high school, I started playing the drums,
yeah.
and I learnt the dhol as well. So
Oh,
I really
wow.
I was very
Yeah,
much on that rhythmic side of things and percussion. Really
mm-hmm.
loved that. Really a
Mm-hmm.
big fan of a beat. Really.
Yeah,
But then the inspiration came through from my older brother as well. He introduced me to hip hop, like Dr.
yeah,
Dre, LL Cool J, that kind
yeah.
of stuff, and old
Uh-huh.
school R&B and soul and that kind of stuff. So it's been really eclectic throughout, and it really is a journey for me. And that's another thing that Max says. I've got the root side of me, but there's also that element of the rhymes creeping through.
Yeah.
You know, the
Yeah,
hip hop, the
yeah.
R&B, and the
Mm.
soul, and that kind of thing.
Mm. Smack. Well, what can you remember, or how did your
Yeah,
journey start?
it's really nice to kind of reflect. Actually, it's not you don't get the opportunity to do that, but I think
We're
I
always
think for
asking the
me,
questions. That's why, Max.
yeah, no,
Hey, that's
yeah,
why
yeah.
you're Music
I mean,
Heroes, guys.
yeah, no,
This is just no
this is
script here. You want to
this
see your
is great.
script? It's here, right?
I think I think for me, like the thing for me is like I've grown up in a really multicultural family.
Yeah.
So to be quite honest, like Bhangra music and Asian music has not played any real part in my upbringing. I just
Okay.
wasn't brought up on it. I
Yeah.
was brought up on indie music and reggae and a lot of rock and a lot of and a hell of a lot of hip hop. But
Yeah.
like, so this is where Chuns has got the rhyme side to him. I've just got less of the roots, and that's why roots definitely Chuns represents it because he really understands that side. And for me, Asian music's just been something that I know about, but not to any depth. My musical journey's gone in a completely different way.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, growing up with a multicultural family, you're just exposed to all different types of music very,
Yeah.
very quickly.
Yeah.
And I really never really had a genre when I was young. I used to, you know, Michael Jackson, obviously, the number one. Everyone loved Michael Jackson. Then
Yeah.
a lot of Motown, a lot of Smokey Robinson, a lot of those Motown artists that were around at the same time as the Jackson 5 were when they were coming through, because my parents and my uncles and aunts used to like Motown, so I listened to Motown, and then they liked reggae and they liked indie, and so I grew up very, very eclectic. I learned the piano actually when I was young, so I played the piano for many years.
Amazing. Did you get a grade?
I think I was on grade 7.
Wow.
Yeah,
Oh my
like,
God, you're my inspiration now.
Well, don't even say that. If you saw me play now, like I can just about get a tune out of it. But I mean, and then growing up, like hip hop became more and more. I just connected with it, like, and it wasn't about the music, hip hop. It was, but it was about the culture. It was about the lifestyle. It was about the integration into society. It was about urban music and what it was like to be an urban kid growing up. And so then naturally went into rapping, and I'm, you know, I love to write. One of my real passions is like writing, and so rap just came naturally from that. So I a lot of years as a rapper, and then which evolved to me being Chun's MC on the DJ scene.
No way. See, I didn't know that now. Oh, wow. Okay.
So yeah,
So you've literally gone around, not circles, but like evolving.
We've evolved. We've evolved together.
Literally,
Definitely. We've had parallels throughout that. We've always, music has always connected us in terms of our friendship from a younger age. But we've always had a collaborative approach to music, whether it be, you know, producing something together, or you know, me sending Chun's a track that I'm working on and saying like, listen, tell me what you think about this, and then obviously DJing, and now it's evolved into the podcast. But music will always play a huge part in our journey as brothers.
So are you still like Tunes and Mac, are you both still like musicians out there? So Tunes, are you still a DJ, and Mac, are you still an MC, you know, while you're doing?
Absolutely.
Podcasts?
We're still so active, and the thing is, it's we've gone through these real up and down journeys throughout our career, really. And the reason why I say that is because I always, regardless of how much I had a passion for DJ, I always pursued a career, whether that be university or and then going into my 9 to 5. I always had that underlying, but I went through periods of time where I fell out of love with music.
And you can,
I
can't
fell
you?
I fell out of love with it, not because of music itself, but I wasn't drawn to the music that was being played at the moment. I was like, because sometimes the industry shift and what's required from the industry becomes really really simple and poppy. So I was always going back to the old school music, and I was listening to music that was 20 years old for periods of time. So, and also I fell out of love with the industry because it was so difficult to navigate the industry, because once social media came into it, it didn't matter how good you was as a DJ, no matter how many followers you had on your Facebook.
Don't get me started.
And that was so frustrating. It was so frustrating. So me and Mac, we went through these ups and downs constantly, and then I think that's the point that I kind of thought, right, okay, I'm going to take a break from DJing. I'm going to pursue my career. I'm going to grow my family. I'm still going to love music. I'm still going to have a passion for it. But and then we came back and we thought, right, if we're not going to go and hit it hard now, we're never going to do it. And then the pandemic hits. And then we think, okay, how can we still be relevant? How can we get across who we are without actually being able to play to a crowd?
Oh my gosh.
And lo and behold, I was a big fan of podcasts, and so was Mac. I thought, okay, there's an untapped market here. Let's just speak to people and leverage the relationships that we have, and speak to people and create really good conversation and nostalgia and educate. Let's do that and have a bit of fun along the way. And it allows people to kind of understand who we are at the same time. So that's where it came about. It's been real up and down journey for us, hasn't it, Mac?
Yeah, it's one of those where it's not like we've decided let's create a podcast. From
It's like, I
still see myself as a lyricist, MC, rapper, whatever. Chun's is still a DJ.
And I'm still a fusion artist.
Exactly, and we've all had to evolve. We've all, just like any, I don't want to say like we're businesses, but just like any business has to adjust in this time to move with the times and with what's currently going on. We have to take the restrictions into mind and say, okay, this doesn't stop for us because we can't stop our love for music. So how are we going to express it now? That was born. But first and foremost, we're performers first and foremost, and that's our passion.
And I totally agree with you guys. You know, when I first started Music Heals, I've just got a comment here. I have to put this up. Mala, amazing photographer. Big love to MKV Photography. Love the chat. I love Music Heals. So nice to hear the journey of such diverse artists. Thanks, Reach, your healing presence, infectious. Thank you so much, Marla. You know, coming back to what you guys were saying about being an artist, you know, that's like me. You know, when I first started Music Heals, I thought, dang, I am not a presenter. How am I going to do this? You know, but I had so much passion in me to do it. And and I didn't know where to start in a podcast, guys, you know, as much as I loved it. And I thought, you know, what's the easiest way I can do this? In fact, when I was actually supposed to go live with Music Heals before we got rejected because it was about to go on radio, we weren't allowed to go on because it was shot for Christmas and we just didn't, check it, what have you. So I had everybody ready on at 5 o'clock to hear me live on that radio station, but I wasn't on. And it was so heartbreaking for me. And I didn't know whether to go live on Instagram straight away and talk about what I was going to do. So then I gave it up. But then when the pandemic hit, I thought to myself, I've got to put away that insecurity of just saying that I'm just an artist, because I am more than just an artist. I write, I put music out there, I touch people with what I do. Why can't I put that into words? And God, if I had to go mastermind, I had to speak about music, I think I could do that, even to the videos and to the lyrics, or even like that keys of certain tracks. So for me, this is my comfort zone. So I totally get what you feel. But at the same time, I have to remind people that, I'm doing this for the love of music. I am doing it to keep to keep it going for music, because a lot of us artists, and you guys know that, how much the pandemic has really affected us, not only us, the whole public, the whole world.
Everybody.
And what have we been seeing, in Italy, like people have been on like their balconies, and the only way they can communicate with each other is by singing songs and playing instruments. And that's actually what inspired me. I thought, if these guys can do it, why can't I do it? And I'm so glad that you guys took that plunge as well, to take that make this podcast, because we don't know the great thing about music. We're constantly learning. Don't you think that, guys?
We are. Music's always evolving. Music will always change, and it will constantly go through. But I think the difficulty is like you said, stepping out of your comfort zone, especially if you've been in the place of rejection. And it probably felt like a lot of people when they hit the pandemic and they wanted to expand themselves or put themselves out there, that they were being rejected due to this pandemic. So how do you stay relevant?
How do you stay relevant?
The podcast was, as much as we are tech savvy and we love speaking and that kind of thing, it's a completely different platform, and we're still learning. And that's the thing, compared to the first episode. The reason why I interviewed Mac on the first episode of Roots and Rhymes on season 1 was to shake the cobwebs off. Okay, let's just interview each other to kind of get into a comfort zone, and then let's expand off that and let's see how it goes. And from that first episode to where we are now, we're now just released episode 7 of season 2. It's chalk and cheese, and it's been this evolution. But you got to allow yourself to do that. You can't overthink it, which we did in the beginning, didn't we, Matt? We had
I was too.
How we were going to create the podcast, but then we didn't create it. It's like you just got to hit the button. You just got to do it and let yourself grow.
You've got to do it. There's that waiting for that moment of perfection will never come. So you just got to get on with it and learn as you go. I mean, this is the thing. Like, it's without lockdown, generally it's lockdown's put us in an environment basically where your comfort zones are out. Forget your comfort zone. There's no comfort zone now. Like, you're gonna have to sink or swim. So and everything that you thought you had control over, you don't have control over it. Like, you don't even have control over your movement right now. And so this is the time where we have to find that fortitude to say, okay, I don't know the answer. I don't know what's going to happen. All I can do is give it a go and evolve and grow and take the lessons and make myself better. And that really is a lesson for life. That's not even about a podcast or about music.
No,
that
is
basically how people grow in terms of their life. It's not about right and wrong and getting it right or getting it wrong. It's about can you learn? That's the only question, really, is, are you willing to learn?
Yeah.
Exactly.
We all,
says it there on the comments.
Says it,
and we should be open to allowing ourselves to learn from our mistakes. So you've got it absolutely right there, Kevin.
You know what you said, Kevin's name right. I've got to give you a hand clap or hand there, because then that's my husband, by the way, Kevin. So the thing is, right, we talk of thanks, Kicks, for that. We learn from our mistakes, and we really do, because that's how we evolve as artists as well. And as you said, Matt, you're never going to get perfection. Even when I started Music Heals, guys, it was on Instagram, and weekly I was getting frustrated because of the quality of Instagram, because we were having such great conversations. I was having conversations from established artists to new artists that reached out to me that they wanted to be on Music Hills to talk to me, you know, and then I get constant messages from people as well, like, we didn't know about this artist, thank you so much. And, you know, and it's so inspiring, but I just wasn't getting the great quality. So I had to take the plunge, then go onto YouTube and Facebook. Now, for me, YouTube, guys, and you guys probably know that for me, YouTube was a no-go area because I was so scared of the comments because of previous videos that have been out there, and obviously the trolls and the negative comments that are out there, that I was so scared to put this on YouTube. But I thought, again, as you were saying, sink or swim, you know, are you going to make that change? And then, as Kevin always says to me, that if you don't try, you will never know. And then this is why I decided to move this onto YouTube and Facebook. And it's the best decision I've ever made for my music, you know, because and here we are, you know, we've got a better platform, we're not lagging or we're not getting cut out and stuff.
Exactly.
So yes,
you develop and you end up learning about what the better platforms are. If you took the plunge and you did this massive platform and with this production value that you've got here straight away, and then you would get these negative comments, it would dishearten you. You'd think, I've done all this and nobody appreciates it. But because it's been a natural process, Rita, you've paid your dues, you've done it on laggy Instagram live platform where you've got no control or anything like that, and you've developed it into this amazing YouTube, Facebook Live platform now, and that shows the evolution and growth of what you've done. And I think the best way to grow something like this is organically. You know, you want people to back it, and you want people to go through that journey with you. And I think that's exactly what you've done here as well.
And what you guys have done as well, you know, it's amazing. And how do you keep yourself positive when you don't get there? I know that we're not all for likes and, you know, but this is how we move forward as well, you know, because the support means so much. How much does the support mean to you guys for Roots and Rhymes? You know, not talking about you as artists, but your podcast, because you've put your heart and soul into it. What keeps you going when you feel disheartened? And I'm going to be honest with you, you know, as a presenter, whatever, you know, you will call this. How do you keep yourself positive to say that we need to keep this going? And, you know,
I think, you know, it's the question's great because it's, you know, like my day job is working with people. I'm a coach, I'm a mental health coach. So this is very similar to the things that you work with people on. It's like, how do you keep going when everything's in the fan? For me, my perspective on it is, obviously the support is great, and you know, we are humbled by their support. Me and Chunza have both been blown away worldwide by the support we've had, and we want to thank every single listener for spending even a minute listening to what we've done. But the thing is also is we have to remember why we did that and not get seduced by that, the likes and the comments. We have to remember that the reason why we did this is because we have passion, and the reason why we're doing it is because we believe in our product. We believe in what we're putting out there. And so if we can look at each other in the face and say, have we done the best we can possibly do? And are we living to the standards that we set ourselves? And are we going after something? Then what that means is even on those dark days where might not be getting the support or the success that we might want, it's not about instant success. It's about what we stand for and who we are. And that's more important because that's everlasting. Likes come and go. It's like finances come and go. All these things come and go. But if you truly love what you do and are passionate about it, then that sustains you through those dark days.
Yeah, no, I totally agree with you.
Max, right? The first series was a pilot. It was an idea that we had, and it was like, let's give it a go, and let's see what sticks. If we get the backing and the support, great. And let's see where it takes us out of lockdown. And we went through it. So the first few episodes, we leveraged relationships with people that we knew, but then all of a sudden we were building relationships, and we also were getting people contact us saying, we want to be on your podcast. And we were blown away.
I think I reached out to you guys as well. I was saying to Mac earlier on. I was like, wow, this is when I was having my wow moment. You did say we'll come back to you in season 2, so, but hey, I got you first, so it's all good.
it's one of them things. People were reaching out to us, and that
Yeah.
wasn't. You can take that in two ways. You can either think, "Wow, we're badass. We're so good at this.
Yeah.
Everybody wants to be on our show," or you can take it as, "Hang on a sec. These people are actually listening and like what we're doing.
Yeah.
Let's continue to do it."
Exactly.
And we didn't change anything about what we did.
Yeah.
We just grew. We grew in the way that we delivered the podcast. We grew with the people that are on the podcast. We decided when we came into season 2, right? Season 1 was such a big success, and there was push for season 2 to come back. Let's just go bigger and better. Let's put everything behind it. It's either make or break now. Let's do it. And that's paid dividends with opportunities coming with the BBC Asia Network, opportunities coming with BBC Radio
Congratulations, guys! You know, you guys
can. Very much. I didn't mean
guys.
To
I didn't even. No. That was on my list. Don't worry. You know, I was definitely going to say that. You know, I should have said it. I'm all over the place. I'm back from Easter. I've still got like Easter chocolates on my mind. You know, congratulations for getting that gig. That's pretty amazing, guys. Especially in lockdown, because you know your hard work and hard graft is showing that you've actually been able to secure such a position. So well done.
And you know what is really great as well? Sorry, bro. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was just going to say, Mike, the crazy thing, and you'll absolutely support this. It's people, and you'll say, Rita, that you've only seen us emerge in the last year, but we've been for a number of years. Before that, we were just very much on the local scene, and we're flying under the radar. And we use the podcast to kind of elevate our platform and put ourselves out there. But even we had to learn. In some ways, season 1, nobody knew who our faces were. It was just a brand. And then season 2 was like, right, let's show more of our personality. And as we showed our personality, that's when people like the BBC started to recognize us and say, okay, these guys are doing great. And that's been absolutely fantastic to see that. But it's we've always had this in the bag. But the podcast has been that catalyst for it, basically.
Yes.
And because you have the extra time during lockdown, you can concentrate on it a little bit, and you can refine it, and that's what's been amazing. And to see it pay dividends, and it's allowed us to elevate our platform as well. Sorry, Mac, please. You go.
Yeah, no, I was just going to echo that. Really, I think one of the great things about what we've been doing is me and Chuns have never. You know, we speak all the time because we have to prepare and everything.
Yes.
But we've never had the conversation of, so what do we need to do to get people to like us more? Like, you know, what do we need to do to change what we're doing, you know, to get more listens? There's always production value things and refinement of the product. But in essence, the conversations we have had are, how do we show more of what is naturally going on? Because if you saw me and Chuns DJ, right? Yeah, you'd see me MC, you'd hear Chuns play music, but you don't get to see the banter that goes on. There's so much.
Yeah,
we're having a great time from the moment we meet up,
get there, or even like beforehand that you're prepping and stuff.
Exactly, and so what this has done is given people the opportunity to kind of go behind the scenes with us and see what we're really about. Because we haven't had to. We're not trying to be something that we're not. What you hear on Roots and Rhymes is our personality. It is the banter that we have on a normal day-to-day basis. It's just that we're doing it publicly rather than just doing it over WhatsApp or over FaceTime.
This is crazy. We talked about this. Social media doesn't come naturally to us. It honestly,
no way.
Me and Matt constantly have conversations. We constantly have conversations about the fact that we hate social media. Mac more so than me, but I'm not a big fan. The reason why is because in order to be successful on social media, you have to come from a perspective of whatever I'm doing, everybody wants to see. And I don't ever think that about myself. I overthink every single post that I post. I overthink all the description and the caption. It doesn't come naturally. So we had to change our mindset to say, okay, this is the only way that we're going to put ourselves out there, and the only way that people are going to be able to see what we're doing. So we have to change that. But even we've had so many little gems and so many funny moments in the studio, on the podcast, or various stuff like that, and we haven't recorded it. Like I bought like vlogging equipment, and we don't even use it because it doesn't come naturally. I don't automatically think, wow, this is going to be something to capture. Because we're so caught up in the moment, and the little nuggets that you see on the podcast and you do end up capturing on social media, it's either because it's coincidental or
Yes.
it's because it's being recorded on the podcast, or
Yeah.
my wife's forced me to put it on to say that's funny, you need to put that out there.
No,
So
and support this.
it's things like that. So
Mm.
it's crazy. I mean, everything has come naturally, but also we've had to step out of our comfort zones as well
Yeah.
to allow ourselves to grow in such a way, because it's the times that we live in.
I totally commend that though, guys, you know, and as you said about social media, there is certain pressure to, like, you know, keep relevant, let's say, due to algorithms and what have you. You know, we're constantly fighting because of how social media is like making us put art out there. So
it's controlling the distribution of what we're trying to do. That's the thing with social media. It's very difficult to break free of that, because you know, the irony of talking about social media whilst on a social media platform is not lost, by the way. And we've got to just respect that this is the way things get distributed nowadays, and you have to be involved. But it's, you know, it's also it's a trap as well if you get your validation and your self-worth from it. So use it as a tool, but don't let it use you.
No, don't let it use. That's great. That's a great point there, Matt. Thank you. Social media for me is really hard at times as well. That, you know, although you see me constantly posting, I do have that time though where I'm thinking to myself, oh my God, do I really need to put this up or not? But then when I put it up, then I get that traction. I think, okay, people are listening or whatever. But I'm just trying to keep it real as well. You know, it's not all about the good, like, Instagram filters, what have you. It's about like keeping it real as an artist of all the struggles that you have and what we have, because at the end of the day, as you said, it's organic. We're trying to have that organic growth. And that's one thing as well that I would never do, is buy followers or buy likes, because that's just not me. I would never do such a thing. And, you know, whoever does it, that's fine. That's their remit. But for me, I want to constantly keep it real and evolve. And as you said as well, Tunes, you know, we're laughing about the vlog, but that could actually be your next step for Roots and Rhymes, you know, to do vlogs and do something like this. You never know. Whereas with me, my next step will probably be making this into a podcast, with a lot of people are saying to me to do, and I'm just so scared to take that step. Like, shit, how am I going to do this? You know, because I'm a one-woman band. I just do this all by myself, right? So it's like, oh God, I've got to think of something else now. It's just too much for me, you know. And not only that, we have our day lives. We have not just saying it is a day life. Don't get me wrong, but we have another life that is parallel to our passion. And we got to keep that going as well. So, you know, huge props to you guys. And big up Vinny, who's joined us. I love her pictures.
I was going to say, I saw Vinny's comment before, and I'm like, man, I just got thrown back to Easter's East.
Easter's East, you know, the lovely like brides and stuff. Love you, Vin. She was actually on 2 weeks ago.
Not because of the profile picture, but that comment is absolutely true. It's where the magic happens. Outside our comfort zone. That's so true. And I think we've learned that over the last year, haven't we, Mike? That
100%.
Definitely to step out, because that's where, once we have, that's where we've seen that growth and we've seen that pay dividends then afterwards.
Yeah, totally. Wow, can you imagine? We're coming up to like 9 o'clock. I can't believe that we've spoken so much, and we haven't even got onto inspirations or songs of solace. So let's kick it into the songs of solace, guys. And then you can tell me. So anybody that's joined, you know, you're tuned into myself, Rita Moran. We've got Roots and Rhymes in the house, Tunes and Mac, that are just talking about how music heals them and their amazing music journey. So if you are always tuning into Music Heals, you know that this part of segment is where I ask the amazing question, Song of Solace. So if you guys don't know what Song of Solace is, it's basically I ask my guests what one song, and this is so hard. I know it's so hard. Everyone has a go at me for this.
This is hard.
But this is hard. You know, this is the only challenge I give my guests, so everyone should feel lucky, right? So I've made a Spotify list of all these songs, you know, what song gives them good energy and why, and, you know, what does it mean to them. And I've been able to put a Spotify playlist, and I was saying to Tunes and Max earlier that I've got about 63 tracks on there, which is just phenomenal. And, you know, it's just rising and rising. So make sure you guys check it out on my Spotify profile. Find me, Rita Moran, and check out #Music Heals, and you'll be able to find that and follow it and like it. So what was the process for you guys? Let me start with you, Mac. You know, like who were you thinking of, like, and then how did you bring it down to that one, and who is it and why is it?
Okay, so the process I went through was when I read the question, instantly I read the question and I thought, okay, who is it? What artist? And then I thought, I'm not going to even do that. I'm just going to let that song come to me. So I didn't think about it, if that makes sense. I just went with, I knew the question and kind of put it in my subconscious and said, you figure it out later on.
Yeah.
And then the song that came for me was Des'ree, You Gotta Be.
Yay.
Which is an amazing piece of music.
Classic.
It's just a great track. It's
Yeah.
on so many levels.
Yeah.
I think I remember hearing that song when I was young, because it's, you know, it's a quite an older tune now.
Yeah.
But when I listen to it as an adult, the lyrics mean something different because I've got life experience to connect it to, right? So it's like, you know, listen as your day unfolds, challenge what the future holds. All those things, when I listened to it when I was young, I was like, yeah, that makes sense. But now that I'm older, it's like, okay, it really makes sense. And what I love about that song is Des'ree's delivery, because it's calm, it's powerful, it's just done in such an elegant way. She's not trying to force the message down your throat. She's just smoothly telling you with a quiet confidence that you've got to be this, this, and this. And again, the final thing I really love about that is, for all the motivation, you know, you've got to be bad, you've got to be bold, you've got to be wiser. She ends it with, all I know is love will save the day. And I just think that's just the most beautiful summary of any track, is that love will always save the day. Like love will always win. And that's the most important thing. If you approach things with love, if you do them with love, if you approach people or situations with love, it will save the day. And I really believe that. So that was, I'm glad to have picked that choice, because it means a lot to me, that song.
That's amazing, Mac. And, you know, I agree with you. The delivery of Des'ree's voice is just phenomenal. And for me as an artist, I get inspired by that track myself as well, because of just her delivery, that, you know, there's no effects. It's just her singing
Just
and
raw.
her emotion. And it's very hard to find that in this day and age of an artist such as Des'ree. Thank you, Mac. Tunes, over to you. Who did you think of, and then how did you narrow it down, and then who have you decided?
So this particular song I've absolutely loved for years and years, probably easily 15, maybe even more years. And the song, the reason why I picked it is because it was one of my favorite songs then, but I didn't listen to it for a while. And then I've recently rediscovered it with my daughter, who's 2 years old, and she absolutely loves it as well. She hums along with it in the car, and it makes me feel amazing, because I love that song, and for her to love that song as well. A song, it's not a nursery rhyme, it's nothing like that.
It's a hard song.
I thought you were going to give us Let It Go.
I know, I was going to say,
Let It Go.
You're going to like. There's nothing wrong with Let It Go, guys. Let's just
So the song that I've chosen is Punjabi MC Gallan Goriyan.
Yeah, actually, this is a classic too.
I think it's a classic, and it's so beautiful and so minimalistic. It is beautiful vocals, a dolki or a tabla, a percussion, and it's just so simple. But the lyrics are amazing, and the simplicity of the song is where the beauty is, in my opinion. It just touches you on a different level. And like I said, I used to listen to that back to back, because I used to try and play the tabla to that song.
Okay.
Because it was so prominent. The production's amazing by Punjabi MC, and it really touches me. And then I stopped listening to that song. You know, obviously you forget about songs, they end up getting to the bottom of your playlist, and then I put it on in the car, or it may have actually come on one of the 3-peats on the podcast.
Okay.
And my daughter was in the car, and she loved it. And then I kept playing it on repeat, and then she eventually started humming it. And for a 2-year-old, for her to do that, I just thought it was beautiful. And that's why when you asked me for this song, it was there straight away. I knew exactly what I wanted to have as my song of solace.
Yeah, Great choice, guys. Again, you know, the delivery of Galagoria, I don't know actually who the artist is. I know it's Punjabi MC, but who the female artist is. But her
I'm not
voice,
sure who
it
the singer
just
is, but
sounds
oh,
so,
beautiful.
it's innocent, but yet it's strong, right? And her
Yeah.
delivery of like just the Punjabi words. And that for me, you know, I have started to listen to a lot of Punjabi songs now. Okay, Kikshi, I know you're getting happier about this. But you know, for me now, I'm actually starting to listen to that as well. And when you said Galagori, I thought, oh my God, this is a blast from the past, because I totally forgot about this track. Because I did first think, I can't remember this track. I did actually say to Kevin earlier, I can't remember this track. But then it was like, you know, that just that little truth that she does, you know, I thought, wow, you know, that's amazing. So thank you so much, guys. Your choices are just phenomenal. I am going to put them on the Spotify playlist, so make sure you both also follow it if you've got your Spotify. I'm going to put this on, guys, onto the Spotify list, and I will share it also on my Instagram stories at the weekend as well, so people can be remember and just follow it and stuff. So we're coming up to the end, and I don't want to stop talking to you guys because I'm getting so many gems from you. I think I'm going to have to get you guys back on because I know we're pushed for time. But before you guys go, I just like, you know, to say thank you so much for joining me today, Music Heals. It's been so amazing to hear from other artists who have actually put themselves out in a different way. But before we go, I need to touch on We Make Events. And that's something that, you know, is very close to my heart as an artist as well. So guys, you know, take it away. You know, what is it about? And before you go, and how can we support this initiative?
So We Make Events it's an initiative. It's a campaign that was set up at the beginning of the pandemic, because obviously public gatherings had to stop. Therefore, live events stopped. And this isn't just an impact on artists. This is an impact on all the people that make these events happen, down to your lighting guys, your sound guys, your stage hands, your stage makers, all the riggers, all the ushers that show you to your seats in a venue, down to the people in the concessions. Because live events have been cancelled, their livelihoods have been totally diminished. And for a lot of people, they're not permanent employees. It's gig culture. They're freelance. So therefore, no gigs equals no work. Very little support available to them from the government. I know there's grants and stuff like that, but they're not always able to qualify for them due to the way that their employment structure is. And due to their livelihoods being at stake, their mental health is being affected. Their health itself is being affected because they can't pay for certain treatments, and obviously elective surgery and certain types of surgery had to be put to the bottom of the list due to COVID. So it's been an absolute tough time, and we wanted to shine a light on We Make Events because it was underrepresented in the British Asian community. Events are a massive part of our culture: weddings, parties, concerts, that kind of thing. But I think that we were underrepresented when it came to this as well, and artists were staying quiet. And we used to have a great deal of offline conversations before we recorded the podcast with artists, talking about how tough of a year it's been and how they were really appreciative of, oh, you know, it's been really good for us to be on the podcast, because we need to just carry on talking and talk to people about what our inspirations were, because we can't go out there and we can't gig. I mean, it's worked out great to an extent that we're able to talk to people and get the opportunity to speak to them in their because they're not as busy, but at the same time, their livelihoods are being totally diminished, and it's been such a tough year for them as well. And I don't even have to talk about the mental health aspect side of things. Mac will explain that enough how bad it's been. He's been speaking to people directly about how it's affecting them. So we wanted to support.
Yeah, this is the thing, Rita. It was such a great thing for us to support because, you know, obviously from the music live event side, which we're passionate about, from this, you know, wanting to do good for the community, which we're passionate about, and also, you know, especially from my perspective, the mental health impact of the pandemic is enormous, and it can't be understated. And just because things are opening up doesn't mean that those mental health challenges are going to just suddenly go away because everything's open again. And what we wanted to do is we really wanted to support something that ticked all the boxes for us. You know, for me and Chuns as events people, for Chuns especially, who, he knows what it takes. I'm the MC, so sometimes I get to do the nice bit, which is turn up with a microphone and
Yeah.
do the Chuns has been in the wedding industry. He knows what it takes to rig up and rig down and be at an event, and everybody that's involved, and how much of a close-knit community of people that are freelancers a lot of the time. And I know from my side of things just what is happening to people's mental health right now. So we're just really blessed that we can support that and try and, like Chun says, raise a spotlight into it, especially in our community where it doesn't get talked about enough. And problems traditionally get swept under the carpet. We're not about that. We're not about that. We're about okay, if there's a problem, let's do something about it.
Yeah. I commend you guys for that, especially like being in the limelight as well, and like how Roots and Rhymes is evolving and being on BBC Asian Network, and it's great that if you've got that platform that you can make a stand to support such initiatives. So how can we help you, and is there anything that we can do, or is it just raising awareness of the funding, or what can we do to help?
So the best thing that you can do with We Make Events is just raise awareness of it.
Okay.
Post a hashtag on your Instagram, your Facebook. Show people that when they click on that, there's a barrage of information available about what it is and what they do.
Okay.
The second thing that you can do is you can log on to rootsandrhymes.co.uk and follow through to the charity page. So We Make Events have a charity partner, and the money donated to them helps go towards people who are struggling at this time, that are unable to pay their bills, unable to seek treatment for certain things, and they give them support on a case-by-case basis. So our pledge has been to raise £1,000 by the end of this year.
Okay.
And
how are we doing?
It's not got as much backing. It's not got as much backing as we thought, to be honest, because it is a tough period of time. We're not going to ask people to dig deep in their pockets when people are struggling. So that's why we said, right, let's give it to the end of the year.
Yeah.
If we can slowly achieve this £1,000, that £1,000 will go a long way for somebody who's in need.
Yeah.
And it might not seem like a lot of money for one person, but for another, it's an absolute godsend.
Yeah.
So if you log on rootsandrhymes.co.uk and you go to the page, any donation, large or small, goes a long way in this situation. And we really want to do as much as possible to raise awareness about We Make Events.
Obviously, and then hopefully when we come out of lockdown, that we can keep supporting as well with any ironically a live event that could raise further money for that. And I'm there if wherever, so just keep me updated, guys.
We're ready then.
Let's do it. I've just planted something in your brains. But no, definitely when I share this the video, I will put up rootsandrhymes.co.uk, so whoever's tuned out there, just check it out and see how we can help, because it takes a lot to go out there and make an event, guys, and we just don't rock up. All that time and effort and behind the scenes is just phenomenal. How many people are involved, and can you imagine their livelihood and how they have been affected? So great initiative, guys, and I just wish you all the best for We Make Events, and we will definitely be supporting that, definitely here on Music Hills. Before you guys go, I just want to say thank you so much. It's just been so uplifting to speak to the both of you. As I was saying earlier, that you both are like artists in your own right, but you've been able to venture out into Roots and Rhymes. Where can everyone find you? So rootsandrhymes.co.uk, which we will. But where is your podcast? Is it all on the streaming platforms? Where can we find you?
Yeah, so you can catch the podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify Podcasts, absolutely anywhere that plays them, really. Amazon as well. If you just search Roots and Rhymes, should come up with us. If you want to see what we're doing and follow us on the socials, that's also at Roots and Rhymes. And on Facebook, it's Roots and Rhymes Podcast. So you can catch us on there. We're usually hanging around on Instagram mainly. Even though we don't like it too much, but we do. We always reply to DMs.
You will be for us anyway. We reach out to you. And when can we hear you on BBC Asian Network, guys, as well? When is
September?
Your show?
So we are.
Oh my God!
So we are really excited, and
That's amazing.
we want to bring the noise for sure. Me and Chuns are really looking forward to doing something special with the BBC Asian Network in September. So all we ask really is, support as much as you can. We love feedback. We're not the kind of people that are like, you have to love everything we do all the time. We want to hear like how we can get better. We want to do more things. We want to entertain. We want to, we want to bring our passion to the limelight, and we get the opportunity in September to do that. But definitely, like there is always a conversation that we're willing to have with everyone, and we want to keep close with people who like what we do or listen to us. So hit us up on the social, and as you were saying, Rita, like do the likes, the subscribes, send it to a friend.
It goes a long way.
Get your mum to like it. And do all of that stuff. We need it.
Well, I'm sure that the guys here will support you guys, but and I listen. Thank you so much. And will you guys come on to Music Hills? Once we come out of lockdown, I hope to do something live, and and hopefully we'll be in that same room together. Would you guys come back and let us know how you're getting on and how We Make Events is getting on as well?
100%. Only if you don't try and make me play the piano.
I totally forgot, and now you reminded me.
Don't do
now
that.
you're going to have to think of like a key or something. Yeah, God's sake. I'm not asking for so much from you, honestly. No, I'm only joking. No, I won't. No, thank you so much. And I will speak to you guys soon.
Thank you.
Take care. Roots and Rhymes.
Thank
you.
you
For being here. Bye. So, guys, that was Roots and Rhymes. Amazing. I get inspired by each artist every week. But for me, it's been comforting to know that I am not the only artist out there that's trying to make a change, in this pandemic. And I'm just going to commend both Chuns and Mac for the work that they're doing. So, thank you so much for that. So this was Music Hills. I hope you guys liked it today, and please do like and share it wherever you can. Next week I have the amazing Satnam Gulshan on. She's got a story to tell, guys. This is all I'm going to tell you. You must tune in. Beautiful soul, beautiful music, and just the wisdom that she has as well. I'm going to keep it short and sweet now. Rest in peace, DMX. I know a lot of you guys have been affected by his passing. Big love for that, and just keep listening to music, and just keep listening to the music that heals you and keeps you inspired, because at the end of the day, that's all we have for now, and that's how we can evolve together. All right, keep supporting your favorite artists, and I'll check you back next Monday. All right, see you later. Bye.